what we're really going to focus on this call is creating content that actually converts using AI. So making the process as streamlined as possible. Now, since I started using AI around like 20 months ago or so, there's a key thing that you really need to consider whenever you're using it. And it's, are you using it as a virtual assistant or are you using it as a business partner, as someone who's on your board of directors for your business? We want to make sure that we're building your chat or your AI as your business partner that's going to help you level up and not just do these little tasks, such as, hey, make me a content calendar or create a business plan or write an email, without giving it context on who you are and what your business is. We don't want to treat it like Google. We just want to treat it as something that is going to guide us towards a specific solution that's actually valuable. Now, we're going to be running through this. So if you have any questions, we'll keep them at the end, but feel free to take screenshots of all of these slides. Now, to go from treating ChatGPT or AI as your VA to a business partner, there's 4 steps that we're going to want to take. Right now, you're most likely at step 1 or 2. Step 1 is prompt and response. Write me an email, it responds with an email. Help me write this message, it responds with the message. Help me find a website, it responds with the website. With the custom AI model, which is what we're going to talk about on this call, it's customized with the context of your business. Are you looking for RV parks or are you looking for multifamily deals? Are you looking for single family homes, buy and hold, flips? What is it specific to you and your business and your own experience? And we're going to train the AI model to have all of that awareness. We need to go through each of these levels step by step. We don't want to skip them. Otherwise, it's going to be missing some crucial information. Level 3 is automated workflows. So this is where we get a little bit more automated and it kind of gets a little techie here. So if you're not techie, that's okay. We have some processes for you to go through. Automated workflows, think of it like this. It's automated. We're using tools like make.com, N8N, and we're connecting our CRM with another tool to get a specific process done. Autonomous agents. So with automated workflows, last thing I'll say about that is there's a concept of human in the loop. So the human is going to make sure that there's quality control and everything that it's saying is accurate. Now, an autonomous agent is basically an employee. It's doing its own thing, it's taking its own actions, it's making its own decisions, and it's learning and growing over time. This is the peak level of AI that we'll eventually want you to get into. A way to imagine this might be you automatically get a deal in your email, it automatically goes into your underwriting calculator, and it automatically gives you a preliminary underwriting worksheet to tell you if it's a good deal or a bad deal and if it's worth looking into, because you're most likely getting dozens of deals every single day. This is going to save you that time. So these are the 4 levels of AI leverage. Right now, we're going to get you from level 1 to level 2. To start there, we want to understand the growth pyramid. So this is what the growth pyramid looks like. We have to optimize your productivity, go into marketing, then we can start automating, scaling, and converting more clients into your business. Now, whenever we think about productivity or content creation, a big thing that we think about is time. How much time is it going to take me? I don't have the time to fit just recording on my phone for an hour into my schedule. I don't think that this is for me. Content is actually only half of the equation. Whenever we think about it this way is, we don't want to have to set aside time to do content. We want to integrate it into what you're currently doing on a day-to-day basis with the intention of helping you reach a specific goal. What is your goal with social media? Let's start there. Is it to raise capital, have people bring you deals? Is it to get leads for a program or something that you might be selling? We have to get specific with that to get started. The other part of the equation is who you are and what you can do for me. That is the number 1 question that your audience is going to be asking. What is your experience? Why are you getting started? Why are you doing real estate? And why are you doing this specific asset class? You're selling them on who you are and why you chose a specific model, which is essentially your belief system, right? So let's get clear so far on our content and our offer. Now, let's talk about content before we get clear on your offer. There's going to be 6 tools to streamline your content creation process. Take a screenshot of this. So we're going to be using Notion AI as our executive assistant or digital notebook, ChatGPT for content strategy, Canva AI for graphic design, Descript to cut your video into little clips. Then we're going to use Captions AI to get the captions on your videos and maybe in the future create an AI avatar of yourself. Insane technology now. And then we're going to use Claude for specific copywriting, like for emails, for carousels on Instagram, for Facebook posts, stuff that has a lot of words. With these 6 tools, we're going to create a system around this. First step of the system is ChatGPT. We're going to use ChatGPT to lock in our ideas and research. Content creation is actually 80% research and 20% creation. And most people get it the other way around. The more research you do, the better you understand the patterns of what's going viral or getting attention on social media. This is why you see crazy posts that, let's say, Pace Morby or Jamil post where, I think he was on top of a parking garage, like doing something crazy. They always have the craziest ads grabbing attention. You see them at first, they have nothing to do with real estate until the last 20 seconds of it, right? Because it's focused on grabbing attention from patterns that they studied. So we're going to use ChatGPT to get clear on the content research side. This is going to make our process easier once we go into Claude. Claude is going to write our content for us. We're going to take what Claude writes, we're going to put it into Notion. We're going to keep everything organized. And the reason being is because Notion has AI built into it. So let's say I've posted 500 times on social media. I can go into Notion and ask it, tell me all the posts that I've created about this specific topic. And it'll pull it up and it'll start collecting that data and making some decisions for you. Editing tools, CapCut, Descript, Captions, Canva. We've already mentioned these. We're going to stay organized and put everything in Google Drive or Dropbox. And then we're going to post them across all of these different platforms. This is what the content system looks like on the outside. Internally, we're going to start repurposing our content so you can take one idea and turn it into 15 or 20 different posts. And this is an overview of what this looks like.
Natalie, you have a little bar over the text-based content section.
Over the...
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay, got it. You got it? Or you guys can see it okay? Okay, sweet. So what this is going to look like is we're going to want to schedule maybe, where's my mouse? Maybe 3 times a month for you to record 15 to 30-minute videos of what's going on in your life. You could use Zoom recordings with your business partners. You could do anything. The reason we want to do this is because we want to give up-to-date, essentially, data or information on what you're doing in your business. You're working on the operations of your business, maybe you're working on underwriting. People want to see what you're doing on a day-to-day basis to stay interested. So we want to make this fully customized to you. We don't want to create just very surface level content like, here's how to underwrite a deal. We want it to be a little bit different. An example of this might be, here's how I underwrite a $5 million multifamily property in Texas. Very specific to your situation. And ChatGPT or AI is not going to know that unless you give it that context. So that's why long form is more important than ever. Now, we're going to use tools like Descript or just taking the transcript and putting it into ChatGPT. And we're going to pull ideas from this video. From there, we can take this and run it through the cycle with short form content for B-rolls, slideshows, talking heads, voiceovers, long form clips, text-based content such as carousels, newsletters, threads has really good reach right now, maybe LinkedIn posts. And now we have the power to distribute all of your content across all of the different platforms with maybe 1 to 2 hours per week, including the ideation and creation process. So now that we understand the overview of content, what we can do, let's go a little bit specific on what you can start doing today to start building the system for yourself. Step 1 of this is we're going to get clear on your offer together today. Step 2 is who is your avatar. And step 3, we need to map out the journey for your avatar, map the arc, and tell them what is the transformation if they work with you, if they invest with you. Let's go ahead and start and map that out today. Now, back then, whenever we didn't use AI, we would have to sit down. Actually, we actually did this together. We would sit down for sometimes an hour, 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours, and get clear on what our offer is, who we're talking to, and what kind of content we're going to put out there. It would take some time because we were doing all of this brainstorming together, guessing who and what we're going to create for them. What we've done now is we've turned this into what's called a custom GPT offer bot. And this offer bot is going to write your offer for you. Do you guys want to see a demo of this before I move forward onto the next slide? Thumbs up? Yes, yes. Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and stop sharing very quickly. Here we go. Can you guys see the offer bot? Okay. Does somebody want to be a trial? Want to tell me what you think your offer is?
Hervey.
Okay, so when you say offer, like what kind of, sorry, I'm a bit confused. It can be used for like any type of business or?
Great question. So, what an offer is, it's what are you delivering or asking of from your client? This could be raising capital, it could be an education program, it could be just a strategy call. What comes to mind for you?
Let me give a thought 1 second.
Try if you've got another business. I know you're a business owner.
Yeah.
What's your business?
I have a nail salon and I also have a henna tattoo business.
Okay, sweet. So, we'll use a henna tattoo business. So, we'll say, help me create an offer for a henna tattoo business.
Okay.
And now what it's going to do, it's going to take you through a 3-step process to get clear on your offer. It's basically going to interview you, ask you a series of questions. It has a goal that it has to reach before it ends the conversation. So what this would look like is I would press this dictate button. I don't like to type usually. I'm very lazy with typing. And so I just use dictate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer these questions. Who is my dream client? This is a woman who is maybe younger, XYZ, 1, 2, 3. And so it's going to walk you through the entire process of getting clear on your offer. And what it's going to do at the end is it's going to give you an entire compilation of your market research, who your audience is, and how you can help them. So what I'm actually going to tell it to do, just for the sake of example, is for the sake of example, I want you to answer all of the questions within all of the steps that we have laid out and give me a demo of the offer bot. So I'm going to go ahead and have it do this, answer all the questions for me, going through the phases. And so you'll see it's going to just come up with a demo of answering all of these questions of who are we talking to, what is the offer, what problems does it solve, and even giving you some positioning examples that you can use in your content in the future. It'll also help you create offer sentences. So You hear about those elevator pitches often. If you've read $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy, he talks about these. So you can pick out of these what your favorite is. I turn bodies into living canvases with symbolic henna art that honors who you are and what you're becoming. Great. Now you can put that in your bio. Done. Easy, right? So it's going to map all of this out for you within the next 3 to 4 steps. So this offer bot's going to help us get clarity on our offer. So let's go ahead and go back to this. All right, can you guys see the presentation? Perfect, perfect. Thank you, Purvi, for being our test bunny here. Now that we have clarity on offer, that should take you maybe 30 minutes to get clarity on your offer for the entirety of your business. Even if you're a real estate investor, we need to get clear on the path we're taking our audience. Do you want them to invest money into you? Do you want them to just get information from your newsletter? You have to have an intention with content creation. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt out. You're going to hate doing it, and you're going to think it's a waste of time for your business. But we need to have long-term goals to see that success follow through. Now, the second part of this is going to be to map out your story and your brand assets. This is what I mean. Go to loom.com, and what you'll do is for 15 to 30 minutes, you'll interview yourself. Share who you are and your origin story. Were you somebody who went through 10 years of school, became a doctor, realized this wasn't for you, and decided to start all over, quit your 9-to-5, and become a real estate investor? Or did you never have a 9-to-5? I've never had a 9-to-5. Did you just go straight into entrepreneurship and have to learn the lessons yourself? With the brand assets, we're going to map out your story, all of the breakthrough moments you've had, what you had to unlearn so you could succeed, and any unique approaches that you're taking. Even if you're just getting started with this part of your journey, it's very important to get you to document the point that got you to where you are. It's also good for you to reflect on because you'll see how much you grow over time. So this is going to give the AI context of who you are and your story, but also since it's recorded, it's going to start learning the way that you communicate. Do you say certain phrases, certain words? I know Ashley says some goofy phrases sometimes, and we have her AI just make sure to catch on to those and add those into maybe her scripts or her content, because that's her personality. So this is also important for mapping out the personality. So we have our offer, we have our story. Now we're going into the AI avatar. So you guys can go ahead and take a screenshot of this. If you're not sure who your AI app or who your avatar is for your business, you can go ahead and use this prompt and it'll automatically map it out for you. So this is really good to get clarity on what are the pain points of your audience? What pain points or frustrations or maybe some limiting beliefs are you going to be talking them through? Limiting beliefs is a really big one in the financial freedom or the financial space, because a lot of times we have beliefs that we're holding on to of how money should work, and we have to rebuild them whenever we're getting into more of a passive income lifestyle or whenever we're starting building our own reality. So this is a really important one here. So now that we understand all of these 3 things, avatar, offer, your story, now we can start going into writing the content that converts. And once you see this, the way you see content on social media is going to completely change. There's 3 levels of communication or messaging with content. Level 1 is where you're just talking about the features, monthly investor update calls and deal flow reports. Level 2 is where you go a little bit deeper into the benefits. Hey, you're going to get insider access to off-market deals and earn passive income through our proven real estate system. Okay, cool. Sounds nice. Level 3 is kind of like the slap in the face that you really have to make a decision. This is the emotional transformation. So stop wondering if you're missing your shot to building long-term wealth. While others are waiting on the sidelines, you'll partner with experts doing real deals, gaining peace of mind, consistent returns, and a portfolio you can finally be proud of. This sounds very similar to Pace Morby's messaging here, right? That's where he really gets you to take action and make a decision for yourself. And level 3 is what moves people to make that decision, because you're tapping into the fear of missing out, the desire for stability, and that pride in being part of something bigger, being part of a community that's growing, that if I don't join that right now, I don't know where I'm going to find that ever again. So don't stop at talking only about the features or the benefits here. Always communicate at a level 3 messaging. Another example of this will be, let's say you're a business coach. Imagine no longer second guessing your pricing or wondering if you're charging too much. Instead of quietly undercharging and resenting your clients, you'll start owning your value and attract people who respect your work, your process, and your price. Very deep, very emotional. We want them to have the feeling of, is she reading my mind? That's what we want these people to have going on. So that way they can have clarity if this is going to be the best decision. Because you might have seen in your own experience, have you seen programs that maybe sounded good, but just didn't sit right with you? This is why. Now, if we were going to take all the audience that you have on Facebook, LinkedIn, your email list, maybe all the business cards you've collected, all of the conferences you've been to, we can take that all and bundle it up and start looking at this logically, or through the numbers, vision with the numbers, logically, tactically. Now, this is a principle by Chet Holmes. You can take a screenshot of this. At any given point, 90% of your audience is feeling that either A, they have a need, but they're not sure if they're ready to act. B, they don't even know that they have a need, that they have a problem. Or C, they're not even interested in working with you yet. 10% of your audience, 7% is intended to change. They're ready to go. They're just looking for the right option or the right path for them. And 3% are ready to go at any given time. They're just waiting for you to ask for their business, to ask for, you to invest or whatever it is for your business. If you know you can solve their problems, we have to put it out there with bottom of funnel content. Now, let's start with top of funnel content before we go to bottom of funnel. So this is an example of top of funnel content. So there's top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Top of funnel is going to be the relatable opinions, the pattern interrupts. This is where you showcase your lifestyle. For Pace Morby, this is going to be living on a farm, spending times with his daughters and his kids, being able to have the opportunity to impact millions of lives and invest in all because of real estate, being able to make any deal out of nothing. So an example here is, this is somebody who is the retired millennial. Her post says, "It took me 28 years to learn how shockingly simple the math behind early retirement is. ... Peaks of curiosity." And the reason it's top of funnel is because it's showcasing a lifestyle and a pattern interrupt. What does she mean by the math? So then you're going to go read her caption, and you'll see her caption is pretty long, and this video is maybe 4 to 5 seconds long. This is what's called a B-roll video. These do very, 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 very well. Lowest hanging fruit. The only thing that you would need to do for this is just start recording yourself doing literally anything. At the grocery store, working on your computer. I'm recording myself right now talking on a call. I can use this for anything. All right, then we go into middle of funnel. So this is educational content. This guy here is talking about how he's worth over $2 million through real estate. And he's talking about what he's not doing and what he is doing. So obviously I'm not going to read all of these slides because it's very, very fast paced. This style of content is really focused on behind the scenes and showing how it works and why it works. So it's a little bit more tactical and educational here, with a little bit of storytelling. This style of post is called a slideshow reel. And all he did was compile a bunch of clips together and slap some words on it. And each slide maybe has one sentence. Guess what? everything that he's saying here could also be repurposed into a Facebook post. So now you're starting to see the vision. Middle funnel content, the biggest goal here is to educate and shift perspectives. An example of this might be, or another example of this might be, here's how I bought real estate. Here's how I'm buying real estate without getting a mortgage. Then you talk about creative financing, right? It's just a hook, you clarify later on. Now, bottom of funnel content is where you get those 3% of people who are ready to act at any given time to start knocking on your door. So bottom of funnel content, you can showcase offer breakdowns, case studies, testimonials, and you're going to do a direct call to action. So with this guy right here, this is Justin J. Saunders. He is basically telling people that he collected over 400K without doing this. This is what he did. This is his process. If you want it, just message a keyword. No fluff, no jargon. He literally said, do you want this? Here you go. That's top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel content. We want to have these all weaved in to your content strategy. And this can all start with one idea. That one video that you create that's maybe 15 minutes can be turned into top, middle, or bottom of funnel content. And here's how. We're going to start cloning yourself with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is going to be the core one that we're going to focus on. You'll be able to organize some things, so you can do this on other platforms if that's what you prefer. Has anybody heard the term custom GPT before? Yes? No? No? Okay. I see some people who haven't heard of it. This is perfect. So custom GPTs are going to save your life. I'm obsessed. So what they basically are is you define how it thinks, how it talks, and how it helps you. You can upload frameworks, files, swipe files to tones of voice. You can even upload books. That offer bot was trained on Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers. So you can train it on the knowledge and where you learned from. And unlike chat memory, it's never going to forget what you upload or teach it. That's going to be the baseline. So the reason we want to use custom GPTs instead of just starting a new conversation with chat is because with chat and just a random conversation, it's going to start forgetting things after a few days and start getting dumber the longer conversations that you have. And you're going to get so frustrated and you're going to get annoyed and probably start cussing it out. But that's okay. We're going to solve that problem. Regular chat, you need to reprompt it. Yes, it's a one size fit all. It's great for everyday use. But if you're actually wanting to build a board of directors or AI employees into your business, use a custom GPT that is trained on the context from day one, understands you, your business model, and everything, and is built on your own workflows. Now, for me, I even have a life coach GPT. So I did an interview with chat about my 1 year and my 1 to 5 year goals, my business model, who I am, how I think. I like more the David Goggins style. I don't really like the soft girl style. So I trained it on that too, so it knows how to talk to me. And every day, or actually every day and every week, I have it audit my progress, my productivity, my life. Is what I'm doing actually working on my goals, or am I just getting stuck in the weeds of my business? So custom GPTs are so much possible with this. Now, specifically with what we've built so far on this call, this is how you're going to train your content GPT, right? So the Ashley GPT, the Pervy GPT, the Paul GPT, this is going to be for you. And what's great about this is as you start building a team or working with someone with your content, you can share this with them. So what you're going to do is if you have to have ChatGPT Pro, the $20 one, doesn't have to be the $200 one. You're going to press on Explore GPTs. Then you'll see a button that says Create in My GPTs. What's going to pop up here is going to be an area where you can create and configure your custom GPT. Now, step 1 is you're going to press Configure. Step 2, you're going to add in the instructions here. Let me go ahead and add this in the chat just for context. Let's see here. feeddo.com. So what feeddo.com is, there are principles behind the term prompt engineering to make sure you get the best result. You don't have to learn those. Just go to Feeddo. It has an automatic prompt engineer for you that's going to make it's going to make it for you where you can just copy and paste. So I am your personal brand assistant, XYZ goal. It's going to write all of that for you. You just copy it, paste it into here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to upload all of your knowledge into here. So that Loom call we recorded, upload the transcript into here. You want to upload someone's book, you upload it into here. You have a underwriting calculator that you want it to refer to, you upload it into here. You can upload up to 20 files into this, and each file can be the size of a Harry Potter book. So it's a lot of information. Another way that we're currently using custom GPTs is we do it for very specific things. So we have a caption GPT that's trained on over 400 high-performing captions from top creators. We can write 5 to 10 captions in under 3 minutes. So you'll see in this one, I had it write a post or a caption for a post about AI marketing, and it's going to write the caption for me. Now, if I wanted to tell it to add in 2 CTAs or call to actions into there, it'll automatically do it for me. What you're also seeing right here, I don't think I can pause it, but you can actually get your custom GPTs to talk together. So let's say we have your personal GPT and a caption GPT, they can start overlapping and communicating. So to kind of have an overview of how we've done this research, built an offer bot, gotten all that information, and how we're plugging these into custom GPTs, this is what this looks like. We start with your AI clone GPT, which is trained on your offer, your avatar, your business. And then it's going to be funneled into the caption GPT, storytelling, carousel GPT. We have GPTs for almost every framework. And the reason that we do it this way is because we found if we trained one GPT on all the content formats, it got a little bit dumber. Right? Because the way that Facebook posts are formatted are completely different than the way that LinkedIn posts are formatted or the way that Instagram posts are formatted. So we wanted to optimize the performance of it by creating custom GPTs, and that's what that looks like. Now that's funneled into the content system, it gets feedback, and now we're going through this cycle every single month. So now we're not creating cookie cutter content. It's going to be specifically for you. And now you're building a real personal brand based off your message, based off your story. Now, another thing I want to mention is that your clone is only as smart as your research. Like I mentioned with the Caption GPT, we basically found over 400 captions and trained it on that to recognize the patterns so we can start creating captions along those lines. Now, let's see here. I definitely want you to get off the Notes app. That is a note. Start using Notion as your digital notebook. Again, because it does have AI built into it. We're going to skip that. We're going to go to this. So this is what the digital notebook looks like. So you'll see that every single prompt, resource, anything that we get is added into our digital notebook. Again, that way I can use this. I can take the same assets and train Claude and train another model if I wanted to do that here. And Notion has AI built into it to where I can have it start building things for me based off the information that's already in there. Right? So if you have all the deals that you've ever done, the case studies are in here, now we can start pulling data from each of those deals, all through Notion. Now, this is the back end of what our Caption GPT looks like. You'll see that this structural caption database, this is where the 400 captions are. We analyze them, and this is the knowledge base. So this is what it actually looks like behind the scenes. Now, the way we organize all of our content starts with brainstorming, recording the long form, reformatting it or remodeling it to different formats, setting deadlines, and scheduling them. And this is a direct screenshot of what this would actually look like here. So we have content planned, ready to go, all 30 days ahead of time. Now we all have the opportunity to post 2 to 3 times a day on all of the different platforms here because of everything that we've built so far. Now, a couple tools on market research AI, because the way that, let's say, Ashley might like her content is going to be different than the way that I like my content. This is where you start finding your custom style. Unless you've posted at least 50 to 100 times, you don't know what works. So don't pull out a blank piece of paper and just try to come up with ideas hoping that they're going to stick. For the first 100 posts, especially if you're just getting started with social media or building your brand, start by studying what's actually performing. Because until then, you don't truly know which ideas work best, what styles perform well, and which scripting patterns are effective. So our market research looks like this. So we do have a viral video spreadsheet that we've done. We've taken it a step further and we've created over 300 plug and play templates. So if we were to zoom in here, you can see that they have variables or brackets to where you can fill them in and customize to your own brand. So now it's as easy as just copy and paste whenever filling in our content research. And this is what the process looks like for us to do that. So it starts with finding a top performing piece of content, breaking down the hook, the structure, and the format, identifying the themes and the patterns, and then figuring out how are we going to apply this to our message. Now, whenever we apply it to our message, we might get 10, 15, or 5 ideas from it.
Natalie, we have like 3 minutes before we have to
Okay, perfect. I got you. I'll start wrapping it up here. So last thing I'll give you guys is go ahead and take a screenshot of these Chrome extensions. These are the ones that we use for our market research. View stats is specifically for YouTube, and Realytics is specifically for Instagram here. Perfect. Now, once you start analyzing it, we do have a fill in the blank templates GPT that's going to analyze it for you. So you don't have to think about the hook, the structure, or anything. Just go ahead and use this fill in the blank GPT. And here's the exact tool. So if you want to use this tool, feel free to download it. It's all yours. And I'll go ahead and drop a link in the chat so you guys can access that here.
Amazing.
Sweet deal.
You are amazing. Does anybody?
That was a lot of information.
That was so much information, but I feel like it was so good. Is anybody, let's see. Anybody have any questions? Anybody feeling overwhelmed? Or maybe is this like, was this at least a good start?
This was great. I have a question. I'm not able to get the links from the chat. Is there another way to get these links if I don't get it right now during this call?
Yes, I will make sure to get it in our recap email. I swear, I'm going to send it in our recap email. And
Okay.
I'll get that out by tonight. I'll get that out by tonight for you.
Thank you. And how about the slideshow? Are we able to get a copy of these slides?
I do have a recording of the call.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
that's perfect.
I can definitely share the slides with Ashley as well, because I know you might want to take some screenshots of things as well.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. And is there costs to all of these different programs?
So, yeah, great question. So this AI tool, completely free. You can start using it. The link is in the chat. I know we're going to send it over to you after. Now, in terms of if you want this entire system built for you, what we'll actually do, since we're in the Owners Club call, we'll just map out we'll do a clarity call to map out your content specifically with the goal to get consistent leads. So this will be a link so we can set up a free strategy call, map out what do you need, where you're currently at in your business, and we'll go from there.
Amazing. Thank you.
Of course.
Awesome. Anyone else? Irvi.
Yes. I mean, this is amazing, very high level information. But at the same time, I mean, if I see myself, I have like 5 different things, okay? And if I spend 5 hours a day and setting things up for like one business, and I'm done for one whole month, or maybe 8 hours a day, like to using all the tools you have provided. Because I haven't worked, and if I'm trying to start figuring things out, I'm not that techy. So what I'm actually looking for, like, let's say for my real estate business, right? Using all the tools, if I spend like 5 hours a day figuring all of these things out and create the content and putting in the scheduling, like auto scheduling, is it feasible, or I still need more time?
It should maybe take you 2 hours a week per
2 hours.
business. Okay. I don't know how many, I think you mentioned 5 businesses, but let's reserve 2 hours a week per businesses.
Okay.
And the hardest part's going to be the beginning, which is getting the data on your business, who you are. And so that might take 3 hours in the beginning, if
Okay.
that. And so that's just with the content side. Now, if you want some tools on anything on the back end, lead gen, sales, ops, we do have an AI community kind of updating on what's going on in the space because AI is moving so quickly. And so we're starting to do office hours and updating on all of the best tools to use with whatever you're needing help with.
Okay. And all of these things you have mentioned was through like Chat GPT, right? So I have
Yep.
recently just paid for the Google, the Gemini. Is it, does the same thing's gonna work because I just paid it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I personally don't use Gemini. My top two are Claude and ChatGPT. But if Gemini is structured or set up the same way as Chat and Claude, it should be the same process.
Okay.
So, kind of giving you an overview of that, I trained a custom GPT on my life coach, like my life. And I did the same thing on Claude as well. Exact same documents and exact same instructions. So it was basically just copy and paste. So if I can do it there, I'm sure that you can do it as well.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank
Love
you.
it.
Appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Great. There literally is no more thinking about how like all of our right words. My favorite part of using incorporating AI is like speaking it, like, you know, what Natalie says, you know, like Hervey, if you don't want to sit here and type it out, just put yourself, like she said, over Loom and just share your story, share these things. And then let, you know, with those prompts and everything that she sent over, you know, like it will just spit it out for you as you. So it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's like, think about it as an employee. You still have to give your employee SOPs and training. We're doing the exact same thing with AI, except it's not going to forget or ask you a lot of questions all the time.
Srini, did you have a question? You like raised your hand?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Natalie, I'm trying to catch up this. So this tool, whatever you gave the demo, that is to create a kind of a flyer. Suppose, let me say, if I'm building an apartment or I want to sell, to create a flyer kind of by using these tools, or is it beyond that?
That and beyond that, for sure. So you can use it to create a flyer, come up with, let's say, 10 different ideas for headlines or the text you're going to put on the flyer based on whatever your goal is. But you could also use those for writing very specific email newsletters, help you write presentations, anything you can imagine in your business, it can help you create that.
This sounds amazing. Yeah, I may need to go over again the recording one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
of course. It's a whole new world. I hope I gave you guys kind of the vision of what's possible.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, Natalie, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.